Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Jumpcast. Today we are on episode 81, and today we are covering Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 269. I am one of your hosts today, Max, and I am joined by my other two co-hosts.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Nick.
I'm Max too.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us, and I'm going to turn it over to Nick to do our chapter recap.
Back at it. The brain no working. All right, let's get into this. I'm going to be recapping chapter 269 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Title for the chapter, Considerations. We're finally done with Shinjuku Showdown. I know that I'm always going to say that until the end of this goddamn series because I read that so many times. Anyways, this chapter starts off with a flashback going to some sort of like candy shop or convenience store. I don't know the exact thing. With Mei asking how much as she's looking at an old person. Cut back to the present where we have Maki yelling at Yuta, just calling him a jerk, saying that everything's not fixed now that he's back in his original body, or like it's not okay just because he's back in his original body. Megami introduces himself to Maki again. Maki's like, "You doing good?" Like, "Yeah, my brain is a little slower though because of Unlimited Void." He tries to apologize. Maki says, "Oh no, you're fine." Uh, then Yuji says, "Oh, I should apologize." And then Kusakabe goes on this little rant, just saying, "No, this is all Gojo's fault for not killing Yuji." Right from the beginning. In Yuji, you're fine because you were just like Kenjaku's exploit, and tells the first years to just be kids and let the old people deal with all the groaning and everything. They then ask why or how everything worked out with Yuta. Turns out, when he was scared that Rika didn't follow him over into Gojo's body, it's because she was holding on to Yuta's original body and healing it with reverse curse technique. And then he was in like some weird suspended death thing. I'm gonna like akin it to Megami after he summoned Maharaga to get rid of the lucky curse technique guy's name. I forgot what it was. And then the next little bit goes on to this little conversation on how they could have done things differently, with mainly Maki pointing out, "Hey, we should have had me go after Kenjaku, not Yuta. And we should have had the Inumaki's voice recorder work for Higuruma instead of inside of Gojo slash Yuta's domain." Toto argues back, "No, that wouldn't have worked because Maki can't be targeted for Boogie Woogie because she doesn't have curse energy." And they say that it was if they use Inumaki's her speech at any point before being in the domain again, Inumaki could have died just because it would have been fatal. Higuruma, who it turns out to be alive, we all thought he was dead, but he's not. Um, he also said that if Yuta was in the fight, Sukuna would have taken Higuruma a lot more seriously and just ended him right then and there. Kusakabe then notes, like, "This is incredible that someone that's been a sorcerer for 2 months is still alive." Maki then also points out that things would have turned out a lot better a lot earlier if Miguel and LaRue were in the fight to begin with. Everyone stares down Yuta because Yuta was the one that tried to contact them, and Yuta's like, "They still came. They said they wouldn't come, and they changed it to a maybe." And Yuji's trying to defend. Yuji is trying to defend Yuta as well with these choices and everything, like canceling out Sukuna's second domain, or I guess third, whatever. Like the big one that burned Choso. And then what is it? Hikari also said it's good that they hid in Rika the entire time while they were watching the Gojo Sukuna fight. I guess somewhere off in the distance from Shinjuku. Um, Toto also says that he takes blame for Choso dying, and Yuji says no, that's fine because Yuji probably would have died if he got Choso out. Um, this this chapter, oh my god, I'm yapping and there's still more to go on. Um, After that, I'm gonna skip past that last little page of them talking with like Kusakabe and Miwa. Ui declares himself the MVP of the fight, which I think a lot of us can agree he actually did do a lot of shit. Um, and then they go on to like this whole conversation about new shadow style, specifically with like simple domain, where it used to be a restricted technique based off of like the head of the new shadow style school could then allow other people to learn new shadow style at a consequence of something else, like they have to basically be a servant to whoever's the head of the school, and they can change the rules and how that works. um Anyways, this whole YAP session just goes to the point that Kusakabe is the head of the new shadow style school, and then Ui, I'm assuming they're doing some sort of binding vow where he's going to become it, and then he's going to charge people money for it. Um, then we cut back to that little flashback where Mei kills the old person because they were the last head of the new Shadow Style school, and their plan was that they wanted to make it akin to like one of the big three clans. Um, so yeah, that's the end of the summary. What did you guys think?
Yeah, it was a very wordy chapter.
Yeah,
Blah 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 blah. Meh, meh, nah, nah. No, I
I
liked
mean,
it. It was a lot of
it's
information.
fun.
No, it was a fun
Yeah,
one. I did enjoy it, but
it's
a
just
lot
super
of
long.
dialogue.
Yeah. Like this is definitely one that like sometimes I feel very confident that I can just summarize everything. This one, you need to read the chapter yourself, get all of the context because I didn't want to go into every little detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just too many intricacies of the conversation.
Yeah.
Exactly. But no,
Um,
it's good to know. I know I knew like people were like in the universe were gonna be critical of themselves for not being able to like help as much, but I do appreciate that everyone was like critical of thinking like not just being like, oh, I could have done better, but they all gave reasons on how they could have done better. Because I think probably was the best outcome for the Sukuna fight, but it's good they had like other plans like with Maki, but how Maki wouldn't work to take out Kenjaku, but it's cool that
yeah.
they put so much thought in. I mean, you know, everyone saw how confident Gojo was in winning, but it's good to see that they were so what's the word? Um they had a backup. And it wasn't just throw everything at Sukuna until he dies, because that's what it kind of felt like to me at first, but they had a plan, and
Yeah,
I think they executed it pretty good. Like, you know, but yeah.
I agree. After reading this chapter, I decided to like uh reread a majority um of the fight. Um just to see like how these things would have worked out. And this is also just a recommendation to reread the whole post Gojo Sukuna fight because it's so entertaining to binge it. Like reading it week to week was super fun as well, but binging it like it feels intense in a way different way, even though that I knew what the hell was going to happen. Um, but another like content creator pointed out that this is like it feels like a chapter of Gege trying to make up for like what everyone was saying week to week on the chapters. Like, oh, they should be doing this instead.
Hmm.
So then they just like made Maki the insert for the fans, and then him being like, no, that would not have worked. Um, and I agree. It was like probably like the best situation that they could have come to. Like how many people technically died out of all of them what, two, Kashimo and Shoso. I don't remember anyone else that died.
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
that's it. Yeah, like
Takuma.
Kashimo.
I technically we don't see Takuma here, so
Yeah,
he may have actually passed away.
nah, dude, he just ran off to a comedy club. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, let's assume the best for him, for his soul.
But I guess yeah, maybe Takaba, Choso, Kashimo, and Gojo. I guess those.
Oh yeah, Gojo.
Yeah,
But you know what? We kind of knew that Gojo was gonna die.
Yeah.
yeah,
Also, bullshit that Higuruma's still alive. Like, I'm happy that he is,
yeah. I love
but
that he's there, but it feels like such a cop out.
bullshit. It pisses me off.
So
Um, it also does not help the whole fucking like Disney-kaisen allegations.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Which, you know, it's fine if people like live. I'm happy that that Nobara, Megami, and Yuji are alive, but like a lot of the like his seeing Higuruma die, you're like, "Oh, what the hell?" And then like later on, it was like, oh no, he's fine. He's just got a little bandit. He probably broke his collarbone or something, but he's fine. Even though that he can do reverse curse technique, why does he have a bandage on?
mhm.
Um, sorry, that's a little bit too much of a meta play right there, but um, yeah, that's just like a little bit of a frustrating thing.
That's valid though. It's I think it's one of those things where the author just can't keep up with literally every single piece of lore that they've created.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard too because you've created this universe, and you gotta try and make everyone happy, or he
Right.
wants to try and make everyone happy.
yeah, he does have to like wrap up everything.
But
I think he still did a pretty decent job though. It very much is still Disney-kaisen, like you said. But all
Mhm.
things considered, I feel like there was an actual outline and plan that Gege had for this fight, and I think that um, this chapter proves that, or at the very least,
Mhm.
he's good at covering his ass. um,
It's-
but
Yeah,
I think overall, it was a really memorable fight, and I definitely think it's going to be something that people are going to be remembering for a good long while. And I think
yeah.
JJK as a whole has definitely cemented itself amongst the greatest series of all time, at least in my opinion.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. It's that thing where like all the people that are currently reading it are going to be like, this is shit and horrible, and then like in 5 years they're going to be like, oh my god, this was so well written.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the
This
stuff
is
that's
so
currently coming
good.
out. Yeah. Um. But what else? It's so useless. All that new shadow style stuff. Like we never knew that there were restrictions on it, and I feel like he maybe just had to think of something to talk about,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
I guess explain why Ui Ui was so helpful the entire time, as well as Mei, because to be fair, it is kind of tricky. Like when I saw Mei helping, and just like, okay, she's not talking about how much money she's making from this. What is going on?
Yep.
He actually wants to be helpful for once.
No. Eh.
Yeah, no, dude, you
Um.
just want that money.
Yeah.
I am
It
curious how
was.
much money she made off of this whole ordeal.
Oh, I think enough money for the rest of her life. I mean,
Yeah.
if Ui Ui's gonna be the next head and he's gonna charge a subscription, fucking Disney Plus over here, what the hell?
It's so dumb.
Um, but she also did bring up a good point that a lot of people would not have died if these sorts of things were covered. Like, think about if Nanami had a simple domain,
Yeah, that would have been
or
fucking
like,
nice.
yeah, that would have been helpful. Um, who else? I'm trying to think. Not too many people got hit with domains though, now that I'm thinking about it at the end.
Yeah, it was. I guess only people that died got hit by domains. So.
Well, I guess also Yuji. Yuji could have used a simple domain against Higuruma initially. Like, if that's just like, if that wasn't a standard to be taught.
Mm-hmm.
Had he learned it
It's
by
just
then? He had, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
With Higuruma, he just booked it towards him, and then it's like no violence. Luckily, the fight ended up being a positive thing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
It could have gone bad, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
So it's A-okay.
Hmm.
Another thing, it is. I think it is really nice that we are getting a chapter like this because this is the type of breakdown that we've been missing for the majority of the series, where we're actually getting an explanation of what the hell is happening behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what their thought process was.
Mm-hmm.
We were lucky to get like a page or two during the fight. Um, and like it was so weird that they had so many plans in place because like their first one that they were really banking on was like Higuruma gets rid of Cleave and Dismantle,
Yep.
doesn't do that. Afterwards they had to like play it by ear, like having Maki jump Sukuna after Yuta's domain if that didn't work.
Yeah.
If plan A does not work, plan B. If not B, plan C.
Yeah, it's just like how many contingencies can they set up before it's just like before it doesn't even matter. I feel like that's just what it was. It was just a war of attrition to see how long it would take until Sukuna just ran out of shit.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel
Exactly.
like they took into account Yuji's ability that much
Yep.
that he can punch Sukuna out of the body. Like I think it really was supposed to be, as you said, the war of attrition. And like what really helped was the Sukuna Gojo domain. Um or Yuta technically. Because I think that they point out that like he will not run out of cursed energy anytime soon. He was still at like Yuta's level of cursed energy from like the beginning of the fight towards the end. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's just that efficient with curse energy usage.
Right. Man,
So yeah.
there's just so much shit that like people are gonna be breaking down. I think this final fight for a good long time now because there's still like
I
a
think
bunch of huh.
I was gonna say I like at least end of this year and most of 25. We'll be
Yeah.
seeing like videos, video essays, Reddit posts, whatever, breaking down, finding new little things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's good
I
because
love
you're
it.
still gonna have like a huge community
Mm-hmm.
going on for
I
like
love it. We'll
months
still
after the
have a
series
huge
ends.
community. JJK will still have a huge community just because of like the anime coming out. Um, when the next season of the anime comes out, that'll bring more fans in to read the manga and like it did with Shibuya. So it's good. It's good that I think JJK is going to end on such a high note. Because I feel like sometimes like maybe with a manga series or just series in general, you don't. I feel like maybe at least for like a Western series, I feel like a lot of time we don't get a series ending on such a high note.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like the series gets almost milked till it's nothing anymore. Like, I think the prime example I think of is like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They wanted to keep building off the hype, which is fine, but they ran out of source material. Instead of consulting the author who kind of knows what he wants to do, they kind of did their own thing, and all the character development they were building got thrown out the window and whatnot. But I feel like that might be a bigger problem in like a Western setting. With like a series is when they run out of source
Oh
material.
yeah, I mean like a good one. Well, not even like source material, but just like runs out of good writing ability. Like if you look at Marvel as of recent, like
Oh
they
yeah.
had like a really good conclusion, and then like I do not know whoever is still keeping up with the Marvel stuff. Good job, but I cannot do that because it's just not entertaining anymore.
Yeah.
Like the this stuff like Shonen Jump is what has filled up uh my I need something to be punched attention.
Yeah.
Also, one other random side note, a friend of ours who is a really big fan that Higuruma is alive just texted me like Higuruma's alive, and they said I told him like it's bullshit, and he said for real, I love him, but how the fuck did he survive?
It's
even Higuruma fans are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah. Also with Game of Thrones, sorry, side tangent. It's just like it was such a shame as well because they were really banking like, okay, is he gonna come out with the next book? And it's like, nope.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure
Still
they
in
didn't also want
waiting.
to spoil the book as well
Yeah.
because he
But
wants that
I
to
was
come
thinking
out
like they could
first.
have gone down the route of like Full Metal Alchemist, where like the original series branched off, it did its own thing, and then they like did a really good job with that. And then they went back and did Brotherhood, where they kind of just followed
Yeah,
manga
I
to
mean,
the
I'm
letter.
sure that that will still happen. Although I have heard mixed opinions on the Full Metal Alchemist one. I remember watching that, and then when
Mhm.
it spun off into like their own stuff, I'm like, what is going on? This is so
Yeah,
weird.
I mean,
So
we can
I'm
make a
sure that
video
that
about
is
that
what is going to
sometime. Yeah,
happen.
but
Yeah,
yeah, no, it'd be really interesting to see. But you know, I'm trying to go in like not sugarcoating, but like maybe rose tinted glasses these last chapters. Like I've loved the past 10 chapters of JJK. I'm going into the end of the series. I'm like, oh, it's JJK's ending. It's it's at its peak. It should be ending at its peak, not at its low. But there's some points where I'm like, I would have liked more. But
yeah.
who knows,
I
dude?
mean,
Maybe with this new revelation that Mei killed the Ten Shadows user, and there's a war brewing of like the big three clans, dude. Jujutsu
there was a
Kaisen
theory.
Shippuden
Oh God.
for
No,
real? No,
it'd
like
be
stuff like that.
horrible.
No, dude. If that happened, I'd actually like. I'd go. I'd buy a ticket right now to Japan, find Gege, and wring his neck for that.
The um the one thing I've talked about it before, it'd be good to get a prequel series for Yuki,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever gonna get that.
Yeah, I doubt it. Probably just
I'm
that, just JJK Zero.
Yeah.
is the closest we'll get to a prequel. Yeah, I could see that. I'd love to see like a Han era series, and not even just about Sukuna, just about like a sorcerer and the Heron era, like what
A
that
one
looked
shot
like.
chapter of him
Yeah,
dying to a random
yeah,
domain,
like dude,
living his
like
life and like,
you say, just some like not random, but to see a sort like the average sorcerer in the Han era, to see what that's like, because like we have this like it's so highly talked about in the series about the Han era. It's a pinnacle of Jujutsu society. Like, whoa, it's the pinnacle. It's the greatest thing ever. But like, what does it actually look like? I'm kind of curious. I want to know what something like that, what that
well,
would have looked like to live through it.
at least with that was like the whole point of the culling games is that it is like the Han era brought back, which is just turns out anarchism, no control, and people can kill whenever they want. So like you never feel safe.
Mhm.
So that I feel like that was the whole point of like hyping it up is that like you're gonna live this experience uh like for all the new sorcerers like for Yuji and Megami, and it turns out they can't handle that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like I mean like Yuji somewhat handled it, but Megami passed out.
to get
He probably would have died.
rescued.
Yeah, he's not built for this era.
uh,
It's
Had
reminding
to
me
be
of,
possessed to live this long.
yeah,
Sorry.
very good. Have y'all kept up on Kaiju number 8?
I have
no.
not been reading it.
Yeah, I've
Okay,
been
cool.
watching it. So.
Cool.
I'm caught up on the anime.
Tight. Um, well, I'll just say this. The manga right now is having its own like, oh hey, flashback from the Han era moment.
Mm.
I saw a bit of that because I read like the first little bit of like the newest chapter when it came to like what is it, number 9? Is that the one that's listed? The one that's like
The big bad.
I forgot what the yeah, the big bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
there's some
So
funky shit going on.
mhm.
Anyway,
But yeah. I guess to ask, although this is a little weird because I don't know if we're ever gonna know what the hell's gonna happen. What do you think's gonna happen next chapter?
I'm not really sure because, like, do we know how many more chapters they're going to be?
This is
2.
yeah. After this one, we have 2 more.
Gotcha. Okay,
So.
well,
I would like to see what their rankings are. That's the only thing, just to see if Yuji's like labeled a special grade or not, or
mm-hmm.
Megami's like fucking like grade 3. It'd be fun to see Megami try to summon his Shikigami because I want
Or
to
like
see what
see
the
where
wolf
he's
looks like
at.
now. Yeah, after it absorbed all the power from
Mm-hmm.
Maharaga and 5 other dead Shikigami.
That would be very fun to see.
It's just a tank with a wolf's head on it.
uh,
I would love that.
It's just like a wolf, like a normal looking wolf. It's just completely changed, and it's just got like the little Maharaga like wheel on top of it.
That'd be
The
wild.
domain expansion is just unlimited void, but you just keep on seeing a furry convention.
No, I was gonna say it's not even a wolf. It's a little like one of those little Pomeranian dogs.
Mm,
It's the Maharaga. Like it just adapts, but it's so small, like it doesn't matter.
that's really funny.
You can't hit it.
Yeah,
Too small.
It's just there. It doesn't do anything. He's just there.
Yeah. But I want to see that, and I want to see Yuji because he is like the strongest in the series now, technically. If anything, just like lack of experience and age is the only thing. But
Yeah.
I know the abilities of Sukuna, the main technique from the Kamo clan. What is it? He has like the same. I don't know if he has the same curse energy efficiency or not, but like reverse curse technique as well. He's got like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And bro learned it all. It wasn't even like shit he just had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sick. I mean,
that's why I think will happen. Hopefully, I don't know. This will all be wrapped up in 2 weeks. So
yeah,
We'll be
I mean-
crying on in 2 weeks.
exactly.
yeah, I'll completely reread the series afterwards because I won't have anything else to do.
Oh, I'm gonna be collecting all this shit, dog.
Yeah, I need to look at when Volume 24 comes out. Actually,
I think it's soon.
it is in December,
Sick.
Ooh.
so
Okay.
somewhat soon.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we also need to figure out what the fuck happens with the foreign countries.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're never
that's
finding that
true.
out. We're never
No,
finding that out.
No. Hey,
Nick,
he
that
was able
plot
to
hole,
fill 12
gone.
fucking
Forget
pages
about
of
it.
simple
Pulling it
domain,
out of your
and we're
brain.
gonna get at least a panel of the U.S. industry.
No, Nick, that little plot thread, just pulled it out of
That's
your
my
brain. You can forget.
copium. That's my
No,
copium.
it's out of your
It's
brain.
just
You can
like
forget
the
about it. It's
community
gone.
says Gojo's gonna be back. That's my
No.
copium.
Dude,
He'll come back next chapter, dude. Believe me, dude.
My blue-eyed king. He'll be here. He'll be here.
Blue-eyed king.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for listening to episode 81 of the Jumpcast. We hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, please let us know your thoughts down below in the comments or on Twitter. And we hope to see you again next week. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying the end of Jujutsu Kaisen as much as we are.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye.